It was a pretty fun weekend. Just to start off, have a great episode for you today. It was I got to record last week with the with Jeff and Taylor, Romeoandbrewliet. So this is an Instagram spotlight episode. We had an absolute blast. We were laughing a ton. We were joking around. Talking because they are from Chicago, so we're talking Chicago craft, the Chicago craft beer scene, the debate with what is the real Chicago style pizza, stuff like that. Don't know why I kind of had that accent on the end of it there, but I had an absolute blast. I also I'll put the timestamp in the description to let you know when the interview is going to start if you'd like to jump straight to that. I also got to record yesterday Saturday with Anthony Tapia from Amarok Brewing in Glendale. Super cool guy. He does all of his brewing through Tortugo, but you can pick up any of his beers over in Total Wines in Southern California. Really awesome guy. He really, we had a great conversation. So that episode will be out in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little preview of that. We had a super fun time though. Also, I went to Coach X, or X-Coach over in Brewery X. Got to hang out with Jizzy and, some of his buddies that work there. Got to have a bunch of great beers. A lot of beers going down. They even had some country artists there. So they're some kind of, just kind of regular bands, not like nobody famous. But it was a really cool time. Got to have some pizza and some beer. And also some chili lime wings that are fire. And speaking of chili lime, don't forget to check out snacksontap.net. Juan and Justin are killing it over there. They have the chili lime peanuts, wheat, stout, and IPA flavored peanuts, and then also those same flavors in pretzels. So check out their stuff. All right, well, let's start it out here. I'm going to crack a brewski, give it a reviewski. This week I'm super excited about it. It's actually, I'm really been on a lager kick lately, or like Pilsner kick lately. This one is, drink first, drink hard, no mercy, sweep the keg. This one is from Noble Ale Works out in Anaheim. I was there a couple weeks ago and I got to hang out with them. We had a great time. This is a rice lager. It's obviously Karate Kid inspired. It's really cool can artwork. I actually posted on the Instagram at the Taproom Podcast last Sunday. But it's a really cool can artwork on the side. It says sweep the keg. Obviously a play on sweep the leg. Put them in a body bag. This is a rice lager coming at 4.75%. Let's go ahead and let's crack her open, eh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's my favorite, one of my favorite sounds. What does it say in Tropic Thunder? He said, "What kind of gun is that?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life." Gotta love Tropic Thunder. Oh, yeah. Get it, girl. Look at that thing. I mean, I'm saying look at that thing, but you guys can't see it. But, oh, man, it's crystal clear. I already kind of know where this one is going. But it's a really, super enjoyable, super crushable lager. It's super light. Let me just jump in here. I need to... Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, This is phenomenal. Jimmy and Paul, those boys know how to do things right over there at Noble. It's like they know my body better than me. So good. So good. I love this lager. It's easily a 9 for me. I'm going to keep on crushing this because this is just phenomenal. But yeah, definitely it's super crisp, clean, refreshing. Think about if you're a golfer, or even if you're just, on a hot, sunny day and you don't want anything overly heavy or anything like that, especially here in Southern California. You want something that's going to go down easy. And both of these beers today are both from Noble. This one's phenomenal. All right. But let's jump into some headlines / what's kind of going on. There's kind of a lot going on in sports right now. I mean, we had the NFL draft the other day. The NBA playoffs are still going on. Even though you guys know I'm not really the biggest NBA playoff guy. I love my Bulls, but we are absolute dog shit. And we kind of talked about the Bulls with Romeoandbrewliet, Taylor, and Jeff. Let's see here. Yep. So, I'm just going to start it off with the NHL because my Avalanche, it just seems like this season, and like I'm not trying to make excuses or anything like that, but it really does seem like just everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for them. There was like the whole thing with Val Nichushkin. I don't really know the whole situation. They said there was a drunk woman in his room and he wasn't there. I don't know, so I can't even begin to speculate what happened there. But I was honestly shocked that the Avs won on Friday because they just have not been playing well. Honestly, they just haven't looked great, and they obviously a lot of injuries. Andrew Cogliano, they just announced, is going to be missing Game 7 today because of a fracture in his neck, so he's out indefinitely. Don't really know what's going on with that, or what's going to happen. I was really hoping, they would get a chance. I don't think they can go and repeat. But, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. So that series is 3-3. They play tonight at 6:30, I believe. Dallas beat the Wild. Good for them. So the winner of the Kraken and Avalanche series is going to end up playing Dallas. But I don't know. Dallas looks really good. I feel like if it was the Avalanche, I think Dallas wins that series just based on the eye test so far. The Kraken, if it's them, you never know. They have young talent. They got, Matty Beniers has been, playing lights out. He's, been solid. And then coming down on the other bracket, on the West is the Golden Knights and the Oilers. Vegas is the number 1 seed right now. I love me some Jack Eichel, guy's a bad motherfucker. But I feel like if the Oilers were going to win it, or at least going to win at least the West, this would be the year for them to do it. So I got the Oilers winning that series. A lot of people, coming out of the East, not a lot of people really thought I would. I thought for sure Boston. I don't think. It's tough to sweep anybody, especially when you're, in the playoffs. But if anyone was going to do it, it was Boston. But they are going 7 games. Going to the 7th game. That game actually comes on in about an hour and 15 minutes. It's about 2:15 when I'm recording this. Pacific Standard Time. Toronto finally won a series. They did, but that's why I was picking the Lightning because Toronto, until I was going to pick whoever they played against until Toronto actually won a series. So good for Toronto. Good for them to move on. They look like they could be dangerous, like with Morgan Riley, Ryan O'Reilly, all those guys. They really, with those acquisitions that they made, they really got a shot. And I feel like they could give anybody a run for their money. But we'll see what happens with Florida or Boston. If it's Boston, I still got Boston winning. I think that Boston ultimately wins the cup. But we'll see. Anything can happen in a Game 7 between Florida and Boston. Next one is Carolina. And Carolina obviously won. They beat the Rangers in 6 games, 4-2. And then the New Jersey Devils are playing the Rangers. That is tied 3-3. So a ton of Game 7s. So yeah, that one went 7 games. Boston's going 7 games. The Kraken's going 7 games. So it's, quite a bit. And a lot of them went 6 games at least, except for the that Golden Knights series where they knocked out the Winnipeg Jets 4-1. So, we'll kind of see how that plays out. But I really think that the Avs might be in some trouble. They need to get healthy. Hopefully they can do that and be challenging again next year for the cup. Maybe spend some more money, or they can bring up some other guys like Oscar Olsson. We'll see. But yeah, so far, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and jump in for another drink here. I also wanted to, before I do the next brewski review, I did want to get into the NFL draft a little bit. Obviously, Bryce Young went first. Big pickup for them for Carolina. Really needed a quarterback. You got a good young quarterback. Now the Texans. I thought the move of the night. Well, a couple teams that really did so well in the draft. I really thought the Texans did. They got C.J. Stroud and they got Will Anderson. And then also the Eagles went in there and jumped into the top 10 and got Jalen Carter. They got Darnell Wright. I think their first 4 picks were all Georgia boys or around there. Not Georgia boys, but they were all SEC boys. So I mean, yeah, I really thought the Eagles had another great draft. I feel like they're loading up on defense. That's kind of what what they needed. I mean, it kind of shows with what happened in the Super Bowl that Pat Mahomes kind of had it. That was like they just couldn't slow him down towards the end. Of course, my Packers went defense again instead of trying to draft so maybe a little bit more help for Jordan Love, but is what it is. And Aaron's officially finally a Jet. Thank you, 6 pound, 8 ounce, infant baby Jesus. Sorry, I had to quote Talladega Nights there. Just glad it's finally over with. Like, I'm glad that's done. Now we can have, figure out what Jordan's going to be able to do. But I'm excited about it. I don't know if it's going to be great. Don't know if it's going to be bad. But I'm just excited to kind of see what happens next. And I'm just glad he had some time to sit behind Aaron. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I thought those two teams, they had a great draft. The Eagles and the Texans were two of my winners. Fuck the Vikings. Sorry, just kidding. If there's anybody living in Minnesota, I apologize. I'm a Packer fan. I gotta hate them. But they always draft SC guys. And it's like, so, and I love SC players. I love SC players when they go to, or USC players when they go to the pros. But if you ever go to the Bears, Vikings, Cowboys, or 49ers, you're dead to me. I'm sorry. I mean, deep down, I'll always love you because of what you did at SC, but you're dead to me once you go to one of those teams. So my apologies. I mean, who else did the Packers pick? I forgot. I know they picked up, was it Musgrave from the Oregon State Beavers. So I'm glad they got a tight end. I know they got another receiver as well. I'm not going to get super into it, like too far into it, but I thought it was a fun draft. I mean, I always love watching the draft. It's kind of just like honestly, it's kind of a tease because, the season's coming up soon and you're like, damn, man, it's still, we're about a little over 3 months away from some preseason football. So we'll see what happens. The Packers got to pick up the 5th-year option, I believe, by next week for Jordan Love, because I think he's due like $20 million, but we'll see how that all plays out. And I will jump into the NBA playoffs here in just a moment before we get into the interview. It's going to do one more chug, then we're going to dead with another brewski. All right, let's crack this sucker open, eh? This next one we have is Wakatu Showers. It's 100% Wakatu hopped American double IPA. Let's see here. Looks like it's coming in at 7.5%. So no Nimbus, no Nimbus Stratus clouds were used in the making of this beer. It's really cool can artwork. It looks like it's raining hops, and it kind of looks like that kind of cloud kind of artwork, or cloudy kind of style, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or like the Nimbus clouds or something like that from like Dragon Ball Z or whatever. Yeah, I'm nerding out. It's all right. Well, let's crack her open, eh? Oh, yeah. Get in there all nice and deep like. Here we go. Oh, yeah. It's going to be tasty. Got a feeling. I got a fever. And the only prescription is more beer. Oh, and I did. Let me give another shout out here to Amarok, because I did. They gave me, or Anthony did, and the Tapia gave me his one of his glasses, and he's only had a couple made. It's a really sweet glass. I'll actually post a picture of it probably later on today with their beer, with one of their beers. Super cool. But let's jump into this Noble, and we'll call 2 showers. Jump on in. What fine. Oh, yeah. That is really good. I mean, it is like a little danky, but I love that. I love that about it. Really pretty clear for the most part. A little cloudy like that. Kind of cloudy like like those clouds on the can. It's pretty good though. I actually really like this. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. It's really good. I enjoy it, and for being an American IPA, it's pretty solid. Like I said, Jimmy and Paul are killing it over there. So is Josh with all the marketing stuff that he does. Really awesome guys. But let's jump into the NBA draft. So Milwaukee got knocked off. Miami is now playing New York. Miami's up 1-0. I mean, I kind of want to see the Knicks do something. I mean, I know they're down 1-0 already, but you kind of want New York to do something. They never do shit. So, then we got Philly and Boston. I got to go for my boy Ernie's big Celtics fan. So shout out to Ern Dog. At Chugs Gaming on Instagram. Puts out some pretty sick clips. And then we got Denver against Phoenix. Denver is the overall 1 seed, and they are up 1-0 right now. The Lakers waiting on the winner of Golden State and Sacktown. Sorry, I mean, I'm gonna love my buddy Chris. He's a big Golden State fan, but I'm gonna have to go Kings on this because they never win shit. So yeah, we'll see how that all goes. But I do like to watch the NBA Finals when that comes around. We'll see how it all plays out. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoy the interview. And yeah, don't forget to follow at Romeoandbrewliet. Super sweet, like super awesome people. Just like, we obviously never, and we talked about it on the show, I believe, but like we never had like conversations other than like messaging each other on Instagram. And it was like, it felt like we had known each other forever. And I think even Jeff says that on the show. It's like, yeah, it felt like we had known each other for like a long ass time. And it felt like just kind of like two friends reuniting after years of being apart or something like that. But yeah, no, we had an absolute blast. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Also, Mary, like I said before, don't forget to, if you can, great. If you can't, totally understand it. We're all busy. We all have lives. If you're listening on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, if you can, leave a review, click 5 stars and leave a review if you like what you're listening to. Also, if you can click the rate it 5 stars on Spotify, would really appreciate that. But I hope you guys enjoy the interview. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, me on Instagram at the Taproom Podcast on IG. All right, enjoy the interview, and don't forget to stick around for after, because we have to read a article from the Bro Code. Enjoy. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room. This is another Instagram Spotlight. I'm here with Jeff and Taylor, also known as Romeoandbrewliet on Instagram. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. You?
I'm pretty good also. I keep looking at this beer. I'm like ready to get into it.
Yeah, hey, let's do it. Yeah, that's what we always do. It's usually crack a brewski, give it a reviewski. So I'm excited because I'm drinking some California beers, but I'm excited to see, because you guys are from Chicago.
Yes.
So I'm curious to see what beers you guys are gonna have.
We kind of, I know we're Chicago, but we did we're suburbs.
Okay.
Suburban.
The suburbs.
We got a mix of the birds, and then we also got a mix of some Chicago stuff, just to kind of promote our local homies a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and that's what that's what it should be. It's doing it for your bros. So what beer are you guys gonna start with?
You go. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, go first. So I've got it's Sound Growler is the brewery.
Okay.
It's in Ravenswood, which is a neighborhood in Chicago. I've got a hazy West Coast style IPA.
Awesome.
This is a 7.0, so we're starting out pretty strong.
There you go.
Getting right into it.
Nice. That's awesome. Man, that's what I got. Actually, this one just might be a West Coast. It's a collab. It's called Squawk Box. It's from Carl Strauss and Green Cheek. There's the can artwork.
Sweet. Oh, I like the little parrot on the can.
Yeah, it's a little Green Cheek parrot. They're one of my favorites.
The thing on Instagram, I feel like, for us.
Yeah.
Green Cheek.
Oh yeah, and this one is looks like pretty fresh too. It's only canned a few weeks ago, so 3/27/23. Let's crack her open, eh? I'm not even Canadian. I just say A all the time.
I was gonna ask you that if you are.
It's because I used to watch the movie Strange Brew, and like all the guys Rick Moranis and I can never remember the other guy's name, but it's Rick Moranis and what's his name from Strange Brew.
I'm not a Strange Brew expert, so I cannot help you.
Oh no, it's all good. Even my my brother-in-law who was on the show last week or this past weekend's episode. I know it's Bob and Doug McKenzie is their character name, but I couldn't tell you what the other guy's real name is. But cheers, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a sour ale sweet pastry, noon whistle, good vibrations.
Ooh,
point for me when it comes to
that looks really good.
I know it's my dessert.
There you go. Yes, like I love sours and pastry stouts. All that crack sounded good. Nice.
Good.
Of course, it's good. It's a pastry sour. Like this is like my bread and butter right here.
Same. I love those imperial pastry sours are just so like they'll get you though. Those percentages they'll get you.
Cheers,
guys. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, mine smells like a pie. I love it when it smells like pie.
Oh, it does. I can smell it.
Oh yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that is good.
You have noon whistle coming in hot.
There you go.
No, this is straight up a dessert. I like.
Are you gonna be one and done?
Okay, usually I'm one and done. But like,
okay.
I'm a proud lightweight. Like I'm a cheap date. You shouldn't go. I've never complained.
Hey, there you go. I'm gonna jump in for another one here. That's really good.
I'm just pounding them right away here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these sweet ones I can do all day. Like I'm not really a big IPA, but when it comes to sours, like for beer, like those are I can't get enough.
Oh, but I mean that's you know what you like and that's cool. But and I feel like certain beers can be kind of like we just call them gateway drugs into other beers. But you kind of find your way through like because when I first started drinking like craft beer. I won't say what age I was because it was before I was supposed to be drinking. But it was like started off with like Stone and like Carl Strauss, but that was like the only craft beer I had access to. But now craft beer is just everywhere.
No, I was thinking about that today. Like some of the stuff that we like associated with as like craft beer back in the day, now it's almost like mainstream, and it's like
for sure,
it's not as cool as some of the stuff now. Like it's kind of like I look at beer kind of the same way as I look at music. Like I love underground music. I love like music, stuff like that. And like I feel like after a certain point, like you want your craft breweries to get popular, but you don't want them to get too popular.
Yeah, you still want to be able to go over and have a beer. Yeah, you don't want to line out the door on a can release when you're trying to get one.
Exactly. Talking to you, Goose Island.
I'm the exact opposite. Give me all the pop music. Give me the top 40 on the radio. Like,
okay.
No, I do not search for music. I don't search for beer. Like
you're the sellout.
I don't care. This is good.
Hey, as long as you like what you like, man. You get to enjoy a good beer, good pastry stout. I did want to ask, because that's such a cool name, the Romeoandbrewliet. Like, who came up with that? I'm just curious.
That was mine, and it's funny. I came up with it like before. So our whole account kind of got started almost as an accident, and I just came up with it like I work in creative and advertising, so like I'm always just kind of kicking around ideas, and I was like, I'm just gonna put this off to the side in case we need this for something one day, and lo and behold, we kind of started this. Like our account used to be not that long ago, but it was just our account for us. And so I'm like, I'm gonna just throw this name on this account, and then kind of after a while, I guess the cat got out of the bag a little bit, but it turned out to be like a really good branding tool. So I'm like, yeah, let's just go with it. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I really love the logo, like the way that the sword comes through and everything like that. And Romeoandbrewliet. I'm not a Shakespeare nerd, but I used to love like reading a lot of that stuff in high school.
Yeah,
people might have made fun of me for it. Who knows?
I like that aesthetic. Like I said, I'm into arts and stuff like that. So I was like, and eventually we're gonna kind of play it up a little bit more on some of our merch and stuff like that. But I definitely I think that's one thing that we got going for us for sure is like even we were in Portugal like a couple of weeks ago, and this guy was like, dude, I love the name, I love the logo. I'm like, it even works across the pond. I'm like,
there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really cool because I mean, I was gonna ask like who the artist was, and yeah, for you to like to talk about that, that's really cool. So you're in marketing, and Taylor, what do you do?
I'm an accountant.
Oh,
No, I
crunching numbers.
accounting operations department, but I'm just getting my MBA. Who knows what I'm gonna do?
Okay, hey,
Yeah, like
seems like you guys got something going on with Romeo and Brewliet, so that's pretty awesome.
honestly, it's a lot of fun. But I mean, the story is cool, but it was born out of complete laziness. Like we kept losing our list of places we've been. We had no idea
Yeah.
how before what beer did we have? We tried all the Untapped and
Mm-hmm.
beer list, and I don't know how we were so incompetent, but we couldn't keep track of a list to save our life.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, Instagram.
We need your help.
We're not gonna ever lose Instagram.
Yeah. That was kind of like with me because I mean I loved craft beer for a long time, but it wasn't until like my brother started the original show Taps and Tailgates that when we really got into it even more. And now I'm just like trying to plan trips around breweries and stuff like that. So, like, is that what you guys started doing when you guys started finding different places, or like your kind of journey, like finding your way in craft beer, stuff like that?
Well, we kind of made a pact that so we want to, see as much of the world as possible. We want to go to all 50 states. And our thing is, if we drink craft beer at a place, we went there, baby.
There you go.
There have been literally, we went to the East Coast one time as a road trip and hit every single state. And sometimes we were only in a state just to find a craft brewery, and I think we found a couple good ones too. I ended up playing trivia or bingo one night.
Yeah,
there you go.
But it was a great night.
Right, and I think too, with craft brew, you can kind of get it, because I always want something that's authentic to the area, and I think the same for Taylor. And I think especially early on, that was an easy way for us to be okay, we can get something that's genuine to this area. It's not a chain restaurant, or it's not something like that. And if you don't know the area, a la the reason for your podcast and the reason for the stuff that we do and other Instagrammers do, that's how you come across this stuff, and that's how you kind of meet some people at a craft brewery, and they're like, hey, try this burger place, or hey, try this Asian place, or try this Mexican place. So I think just the community in general is super supportive. With it's just people that are more open than any other sectors to ideas. So it's kind of a natural fit for what we wanted to do, just with our travels and different things like that. So
that's awesome. And I mean, being in the Chicago area, I know there's obviously a bunch of different suburbs, stuff like that. Are there a lot of, in your specific area, are there a lot of craft breweries around, or is it do you have to, because I know Chicago's pretty, such a big place. I mean, it's
Yeah, there are too many to go to.
Yeah. Sounds like a good problem to have, though.
There's really not any bad ones, so it's even harder. There's, I would say, within us right now, there's probably 7, 8 within 20 minutes. So it's pretty within a half an hour, where we're at, you can kind of get anywhere if within a half hour distance. So yeah, there's tons of different options, and there's a lot of, I know supposedly there's a little bit of waning of interest in the craft brew industry, but it's thriving here for sure.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, my favorite is I like to pretend that I'm athletic and, exercise. I try to pretend. The thing is, more brewing in the middle park. It's right down the road from us, so we just get on our little bikes for
there
20
you go.
minutes. And we can they have great beer and great food there. So I'm okay, cool. I got my exercise and now I can drink all I want.
Yeah, so you earned those beers.
Exactly. I feel so good about that. I'm
that's awesome. And did you guys both get into craft beer at the same time, or was it something more of Jeff that got you into Taylor, or Taylor did you get Jeff into it, or how did that come about?
I'm a little bit older, so I would say I think we were both into it, but I was kind of exploring craft beer a little bit when in college when there was nowhere near as many like craft breweries as
Yeah.
I think you can answer it for you, but I'm not really sure. Like
I feel like it was the same time. Like we were just trying to find something to do together because after a certain time in a relationship, it's like what the hell do we do now?
Yeah.
What haven't we done? And we're
we're gonna need you to edit that
out. Oh, don't worry, I'll leave it in. It'll be fine. I'm just kidding.
Finding craft beer, like that was something like we just kind of like got into together because it was something to do on the weekend or something to do like happy hour during the week, and it's kind of fun just like Googling or asking the neighborhood like where do you like to go to drink, and I think the craft breweries, they're kind of my favorite places to go just because they feel local and they feel homey. And I think that's like the biggest thing is I just vibe with the atmosphere.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that, and I think just like I was thinking about this a little bit today. Like it's just like a place where everybody can feel safe. Like it doesn't matter like what walk of life you come from. Like I mean, there's all kinds of different people brewing. There's all like people from all walks of life, and like it sounds so stupid, but like alcohol is like a huge thing that brings together people just like
for sure
from all different, like I said, walks of life. So.
Yeah, and there's a whole group dedicated to it, right? Like AA.
that was good. I love it. No, I mean, and like you were saying, like back in when you were in college, like there weren't that many options. Like even going to the grocery store, I felt like you would think like Red Stripe was like a craft beer back then because it was something imported,
Or like Liney's when it's summer shandy when it came out, you're like, oh, I gotta get my craft beer, and it's like now you're like, I don't know.
Because even like Sam Adams, like I love Sam Adams. I mean, to me it doesn't feel like craft beer, but it technically still is. I mean, after all these years, but it's pretty crazy to think like that Sam Adams after all this time still is technically a craft beer. Yeah, and I still I'll enjoy a Boston lager every once in a while. Don't have it all the time because my brother, I'm sure you guys probably know, I mention it all the time. I always try to plug my brother, but he works for Brewery X, so like I'm always drinking his beer. So always got to plug them. You
gotta pull those strings. You gotta work those partnerships, those friendships.
Oh yeah. And is there are there like the craft breweries that you like? Do you have some favorite ones you guys like to frequent, or?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, my top one, and it's like it is about like it is 50 minutes from us.
Okay.
So it is out like in the middle of nowhere. Is obscurity. It's in Elburn, which
it's like
it's far.
Yeah, it's the only. I mean, I don't want to insult the town of Elburn, but I would have never heard of it if it was not for obscurity. So it's kind of just out in the boot.
Yeah, it's out there, but like they go ham. Like they go balls to walls on like the flavors they try, the different like recipes. I mean, they do your traditional IPAs and your traditional lagers, but then they also have it's also meadery attached to it. Like they're a brewery and a meadery, so they kind of combine the two to where you have these amazing like blueberry pie drinks, and I love them to death. I can only drink one at a time, and they come in small glasses because it kind of it borders between beer and mead. Like they test the limits on that, and I always have fun going there. The barbecue they have is amazing. But
nice.
I just like they have new things all the time, and that's what I like is new things.
That sounds awesome. I mean, even meaderies too. Meaderies are popping up all over I feel like all over California right now, and clearly, there's you have a bunch in Chicago as well.
They pop up at craft beer fest in the area.
Yeah, there've been more and more. I would say for sure, even by us.
That's awesome.
As far as I go, I have so many favorites. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
you can run off a top 5. Yeah.
I would say Phase 3, which is a pretty up and coming brewery here. They're actually going to have one. They're having a space in Elmhurst near us, so that'll be like just 5 minutes away.
Biking distance.
Yeah,
nice.
So that's a good one. We've got like Chicago. We've got Hot Butcher, which is I don't know if you've heard of that, but that's a pretty huge one
Okay.
for us. And then St. Aaron's is actually they gypsy brew, but they are one of. I mean, they're like Hot Butcher's kind of like the king of the IPAs around here, and they just like all of their beer is good, but St. Aaron's is right up there with some of their stuff. So I'm huge on them. We did a interview with a magazine a couple of weeks ago, and the same thing. I was just pushing the St. Aaron's thing, St. Aaron's, St. Aaron's, St. Aaron's. But yeah, we have a ton, but those would be like a couple of my big time ones. And then I'm a metalhead, so we have a brewery called Metal Monkey. So I just
nice.
Like going crushing some stouts during the winter. So that's a good place for me.
Nice. I mean, and I'm sure it's like well, you said the crushing stouts in winter, but how it was like what sunny over the weekend, and then it was snowing today. So
well, today we could have done it, yes.
But you're stuck here with me, so.
No, if it was nice weather though, I might have bailed on it.
Yeah,
that's
completely true.
I was.
Be calling my name. Like, you know what? I get burned as hell.
Yeah, for everybody listening, you couldn't see the eye roll from Taylor. It spoke volumes.
That's her move. That's how she speaks to me.
Let me tell you, the pandemic was my prime when it came to hiding my my faces. I'm just like, and now I forget that you can see half of it again, and I'm just like, shit.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, like I've always wanted to go to Chicago. I'm not sure if you guys are sports fans. I was,
not lately, but I mean normally.
Oh, it's okay because I mean, and you know, you might want to hang up with me after this. But I grew up watching Jordan, so I love the Bulls. Mm-hmm. But I also grew up watching Brett Favre, so I love the Packers.
I know this about you actually.
Yeah. So I mean, I know like that's probably blasphemy. So.
I mean, we can't really say much about the Bears Packers thing. Most of my life, we haven't really. We've got to get our asses handed to us.
I'm from St. Louis, like originally, so like the Rams.
Okay.
I hate like it was a love-hate relationship with them up until they left.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, you always got the Cardinals. That's true.
Always have them.
Yeah,
I mean, we are actually a pretty big sports fan house. We don't have anybody to root for anymore. Like we had a Blackhawks run that was pretty solid, and dog shit.
They traded away everybody though too. I mean, it just felt like everybody was gone on that time. It felt like a team. I felt like.
Well, it's funny. We with my work, we went to a game the other day, and I literally couldn't recognize a single player on the team. I was like, "Is this a Wolves game? Like, what's going on here?"
Well, because they traded away Kane. The only one that was really left on the team was Jonathan Taves, and they've said he's gone. They're letting him go. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, hopefully, we'll see how the ping pong balls bounce. But I mean, we had a lot of winning, so I'm not too upset. But like right now, hockey is unwatchable for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, it was like that for me being an out because I like the Avalanche, but it was like that for me for a long time. It was tough for them. Like seeing them be like the least amount of points in the league was kind of tough to watch.
Well, they got a cup. They got a cup last year or the year before, right?
Yeah, they won it just last year. Yeah, so we'll see how they do this year in the playoffs. They actually play tomorrow. I was going to ask you if you had like a prediction or who do you think might take the cup?
Well, it's going to be Bruins just rolling through it. Like
they look like they're just going to steamroll people.
Yeah, it's not even fair. Like that's like a PlayStation All-Star team.
It really is. Yeah.
But I don't know. Like you never know. Like I think actually what the Hawks were. I think the last President's Cup.
Yeah, it's been 10 years
to actually win it. So
yeah,
there's always that, but I don't know. The Kraken are alive all of a sudden, and
I know
are a thing. So
yeah, and the Avs got the Kraken in the first round. So I'm like, oh great, here we go. But we'll see how they have a couple Avs players, former Avs players on that team. So we'll see how it plays out. But
yeah, I'm not a conspiracy guy at all, but I mean, it is kind of weird that these two teams that are brand new are knocking boots all of a sudden, and what the Vegas Knights have won, I think, or been in the playoffs like every year that they.
Yeah. Oh, they went to the Cup the very first year that they were in there. Was that a little sarcasm there, Taylor?
She's a Blues fan.
Oh, okay. You know, that's one team. That's one team for me. I'm just kidding. They were like my Red Wings back in the day.
Dude, they win one cup, and it's all of a sudden I don't hear the end of it.
I know. Like Brandon Saad is God, I guess. I'm just kidding.
Please, the Cubs win one World Series.
Oh, uh-oh.
Something years, and the whole city shuts down.
I'm not a Cubs fan though. I'm a Sox fan.
Oh, okay. Like
for you, you're never gonna win.
Hey, they won in 2005, didn't they?
Yeah. And we were on a good path, like with the rebuild, and then all of a sudden, like nepotism just kicked in. Like, Tony La Russa was the manager all of a sudden. So,
I know. That guy just seems like he needs to just step away from the game. But
yeah, there's a lot of Sox fans that are kind of salty about that. So
yeah, I mean, some young talent on that team though.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the Bears though right now the Bears is our only hope.
I like Justin Fields. Like I'm not like I honestly I don't hate the Bears. Like I used to really hate the Bears as a kid, but as you get older, you're kind of like, it's kind of like hating the Yankees.
Yeah, right.
But as you get older, it's not so bad. But I still hate the Vikings. The Vikings can,
I don't hate the Packers, but like I would say the last couple of years, like Rodgers is.
Oh, he's unbearable, man.
So we have a couple Packers fans, friends that are Packers fans.
Yeah,
and they live with this like. It's every year now. It feels like it's like okay, it's the Aaron Rodgers show. Like
it reminded me of Brett Favre when he left. Like it was just like he couldn't decide whether he was going to retire or do whatever or like keep playing. It was just like man,
right?
Just wears you down.
Every day, have the conversation: should I retire or not?
Yeah. Hey, and I was going to ask you, Taylor. So being from St. Louis, So big Cardinals fan, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Always respected the Cardinals because like they always had like a good, organization. When La Russa was there, I feel like it was the right time. And then when he left, it was like, see ya. But
you already know more than me.
That's not true.
Yeah. But like, because my mom grew up in
that she admits, like
yeah. Because the reason I brought up the St. Louis thing, sorry, was that my mom lives out in Kansas. You guys are pretty, close there. But she lives out in Overland Park in Kansas. Great barbecue out there.
I lived there.
Oh, you lived in Overland Park?
I've interned for ConAgra Foods, like my senior year of college, and I lived in Overland Park, Kansas.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it out there. It was like I've never lived there myself, but I love the barbecue. The barbecue's amazing.
Yeah. I had it all the time for lunch. And there was this awesome taco place about 20 minutes from work. Like they did not care what I did. I remember sleeping on the couch all the time. Like I was like, why am I here? They pay great.
Yeah. Future employers don't listen to that. I'll edit. I'm just kidding.
I didn't want to close that branch.
Yeah, shut down.
All kidding aside, though, like the St. Louis beer scene, because we go down there pretty often because her parents still live in the area. Like the St. Louis scene is pretty solid as well. Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the only ones I've had in Kansas were like Boulevard. I know that's like one of the big ones. I mean, Boulevard I feel like is pretty accessible. I feel like they have a pretty good distribution, so you can get Boulevard sometimes out here. I'm sure you can probably get them up by you guys.
Yeah, I've seen them.
It's actually one of the ones that.
Oh, awesome! Oh, there you go. Boom.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Say, should I chug this one, or should we jump into that one? I don't want anybody's beers to get warm.
I like when we visit St. Louis. It's always like I moved out before I was 21, and I'm like some people. I did not partake in alcohol before the age of 21.
Oh, I got a feeling you might be lying there. I'm just kidding. I feel like we just started talking. We all just started talking, and I feel like I already, kind of already got an idea of like who was drinking before who over here. I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing you.
I like your style.
I like your moves. I'm just joshing you, Taylor.
That's funny.
Dude, like one thing I love about Kansas or like the Midwest is like everybody's just like, there's one thing I'll admit, I partake in a cigarette when I'm having a few, something like that. But people want to come up, or they come up, or you walk up, you ask them to bum a smoke. They're like, yeah, here you go. And they say hi to you when you're walking. Like if you're going on a hike or something like that, they'll say hi to you. I take a hike out here and I say hi, and then people just keep on walking.
They look down.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're over there with their like Frodo or Gandalf walking sticks. I'm sorry if I made myself sound bad right there, or nerd out right now. But like they have all that stuff, but you can't say hi to me.
You might. I want one so bad.
So you like the Lord of the Rings?
I love the Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
But I just want a walking stick because I feel like it'll make me look cool.
Well, if you like Lord of the Rings, I have Aragorn's sword in my. People are gonna make fun of me for it, but I have Aragorn's sword in my closet. Yeah. I'll show you after. I'll show you after the thing's over. Yeah. Yeah. I always do the "You shall not pass."
Yes.
Yeah.
A classic.
Oh yeah. That and like the movies I always quote. I don't really do them on the show, but I quote like Princess Bride all the time. I quote.
Movie.
Oh, such a good one. So should we crack open the next brewski?
Of course.
Well, I gotta finish this one.
Yeah. Oh, I had to chug mine.
I'm gonna do the forbidden root, the strawberry basil.
Strawberry basil. That sounds pretty good.
That kind of sounds like mojito-esque, summertime for sure.
Yeah, it would sound like it would kind of have that kind of like, it would kind of give it like a different kind of like a note or flavor to it. This one's here we go. This one's from San Luis Obispo. This is from Liquid Gravity. Orange Cream Machine. It's a hazy double IPA. I love the can artwork though.
We have liquid love here, not liquid gravity.
I was gonna sing. Who's it? Foreigner. Is it? I wanna know what love is. My buddy hates Foreigner. He always says Foreigner fucking sucks, and he always says Boston fucking sucks.
I got a soft spot for a little Boston.
I love Boston, man.
My dad hates Boston with a passion. But
does he?
I definitely dig, because I got a lot of my music from my dad. He was always like, all right, I'll give you a couple of these, but I'm not a huge fan of this. Like, so I got More Than a Feeling, is obviously.
Yeah, like Foreplay Long Time is a banger.
Yeah. You guys are definitely way better at cracking beers than I am, because mine are not making any sense. Okay, so I'll go. I got this is St. Aaron. This is the brewery I was talking about. These are the guys at Gypsy Brew. This is called Chaos Dimension. This is a double dry hopped India IPA, and then it's dry hop with Galaxy, Citra, and Motueka.
Oh, Motueka. That's my wheelhouse right there.
Really?
All three of those hops. So yeah.
I'm a big Galaxy guy, so
yeah, Galaxy's fire. Like it's Galaxy, Citra, like Mosaic is. If there's Mosaic in it, I'm sure it's going to be good. This one, I just like. I don't know if you guys saw me, but I poured the beer and I just hadn't really smelled it yet, and I kind of set it there and I got a waft of it. I was like, and I went back over to. I was like, oh man, because it smells like an orange creamsicle.
Those are so good. Oh my god, my mom used to get those for us all the time from the gas station.
Oh, there you go. This one's Orange Cream Machine. Life does not always need to be taken so seriously. Our Orange Creamsicle Hazy Double IPA provides the perfect excuse to kick off your shoes and hit the pause button on life. 8%. Or kick off your shoes and ride your bike barefoot.
There you go.
I could do that.
There you go. Then maybe after the brewery, yeah. Like after you hit the brewery, you're just like, you know what? I don't know. Who needs shoes? Cheers.
And I don't know if you cheers. I don't know if you trade beers, but you might want to.
I was gonna say if you guys want to, because I mean, I'll get you a bunch of Brewery X stuff. From my brother, and they put out the more and more they do, and I'll show you guys some. I can't announce it yet for my brother. Yeah, but I'll show you some stuff after we finish.
Very cool.
Sneak peek.
This is honestly like I haven't had this one. Like I said, I've had a bunch of theirs, but this is probably one of the better IPAs I've probably ever had, to be honest.
I don't know, like
you might actually like this. Try this. I know you don't like IPAs.
Do you like the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When Jason Bateman says Cotton needs a new pair of shorts. This beer, holy shnikes, Batman! Like because I get all the a lot of the beers I pick up, like this one specifically was from Louis Liquor, and it's like a place that's not too far from me, and I'm gonna have to go buy like whatever they have left in stock of this one.
That good? Wow.
Yeah, because like you get like like sometimes you get like the creamsicle kind of IPAs, and you don't. It's more IPA flavor than it is like the creamsicle. And one thing we always, like my brother and I would always say is like if it's on the can, it better taste like it. And this is like this like slaps you in the face. It's so good.
The strawberry basil heaven-wise. Like
how does that taste?
It almost tastes healthy.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Like I feel like I just because like if you're bougie, you put some like strawberries or some pineapple in your water, and I just feel like this gives that like refreshing taste that you get from like flavored water, except it's alcohol, which is even better because like
you take your 5-minute bike ride and you go get a strawberry basil Hefeweizen.
Let me work this off.
I mean, at that point, it's like drinking V8. I mean,
well, the label, if you look at it, the label kind of has like those kind of vibes. Like.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah, almost reminds me of what's the was it Smuckers that used to make like the jam? Yeah.
Let me try this.
Go for it.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna quote Dodgeball again, but I was gonna say get in there all nice and deep like.
That's pretty good.
It's very good. These are my favorite kind of beers for the summer. Like,
I was gonna say that feels like a loading drink.
Yeah, I just feel so hot and just like annoying during the summer that something refreshing like this would really mellow me the fuck out.
That sounds like it'd be a blast, like to be able to like just because I know there's like the boat ride. Honestly, and I'm not trying to sound like a dork or anything, but every time I think of Chicago, I think of like the breakup, like the one with because I mean like taking Chicago by land, sea, and air. So, but I've always wanted to go. Like, I've always wanted to go to like the Madhouse on Madison. Like, go to the United Center to see a a Bulls game. I want to see all of my teams eventually.
Yeah.
Is there like, have you been to a lot of the stadiums?
Yeah. Been to a lot of stadiums, and then just kind of to touch on your boating point, like, the weather does suck here, like, which everybody will tell you, but like, we got 3-4 months where it is like just. It's kind of just party and sunshine. So we do have some positives here, and then we've got an awesome food scene. But
of course,
summer for sure is definitely when we do stuff. But yeah, all the stadiums are good. I'm a Sox fan, like I said, so guaranteed rate isn't the best.
Yeah.
But all the other like I'm not a Cubs fan, but I love going to Wrigley. Like
that's one place I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, everybody should go. Or what's even better is you should see a concert there. Like, I've never been to a more fun concert venue than like a concert at Wrigley for sure.
Yeah.
I saw AC/DC at Wrigley though, so that was like,
oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, good to see Angus.
Oh, yeah. Dude, for like a half hour, like just like he just went nuts. Like it was something else.
You can guaranteed rate under the bus, but like they have $1 hot dog night, at least before the pandemic.
Yeah, they do.
Look at $1 dogs.
They got their food is legit.
We cashed in. I mean, I was sending him up every few minutes, like, go get another hot dog. Go get another hot dog.
No, guaranteed rate. If you look at like baseball food, like they have some of the best food, like in all of the MLB.
That's awesome.
But,
definitely want to get out there to see, go to the Madhouse. I would love to see a Hawks game too, because like to see the Blackhawks, just because like the history there for the Blackhawks, or like and even honestly, I'd love to go to Soldier Field too, just to be able to, I mean, I think you guys might have us this year because, you know, who knows what we're going to get with Aaron. But I was going to say Aaron Love. Well, what's his name? Jordan Love.
Jordan Love's not bad though. Like from what I
yeah, I don't know.
I'm worried. I'm kind of worried that I'm like, are we going to do this for 10 years again? Like,
this better not happen again. I mean, honestly, though, like even with the Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre stuff, that's kind of an anomaly. Like it doesn't happen that often. Like where you go from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, even though he's a prima donna. Like
but he only won one Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's what like. I don't know if you guys ever listened to Part of My Take with Big Cat, and like Big Cat always talks about. He's like, yeah, he's only got one though. He's got the same as Matt Stafford. I'm like, oh, they're just roasting my boys.
Brett has as many Super Bowls as.
Oh gosh, that trend though for a Ravens team was just that defense was just ridiculous. I've never seen like and they always talk about the '85 Bears, but I wasn't like, I'm 36, so like it was before I was born. Heard nothing but great things about it, but that Ravens defense was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that Ravens team was stupid. Like that wasn't even fair. Like
yeah. It was like if they scored 6 points, they were going to win.
Yeah, right. I think there was like 7 games or something. They didn't score a touchdown and they still had a winning record. It's like, how does that even happen?
That's crazy. And we were kind of talking about the counter work earlier, or just a second ago. And so is it you? Did you do that? Because when we were exchanging emails, I saw that like there was a couple of them when we kind of talked about the label artwork. So is that something you're kind of potentially designing for some breweries?
I do. We with our account, we've kind of run into a lot of home brewers, our followers of ours.
Awesome.
So I do some stuff, and also I'm like a novice home brewer. We're actually part of a brewing club in Chicago called Chaos Brewing.
Okay.
So we kind of stumbled across these folks from different areas, and they've like. We always like to give back. Like we do all kinds of stuff to our supporters, and we have we jokingly call it R&B Nation, but like we have legitimate people like every Saturday are like, "What are you guys drinking? Where are you going?" Like stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
We have this like kind of cool cult following. So we just like to do stuff for them. So if there's home brewers that need labels and stuff, I do stuff for them, and then there's a brewery called Two Hound Red that's near us that I do some stuff for as well. So yeah, it's kind of it's funny because I was like, I always wanted to design labels when I was younger, and then finally I was like, all right, I'm just resigning my fate. Like I'm never going to design beer labels ever. And then as soon as we started doing this, like all of a sudden, like all these opportunities started popping out of the woodwork, and I'm like, I thought I already moved on from this. But it's super cool. Like I mean, it's artwork that I actually am really passionate about doing. So like it's awesome to do this for people and to do this for breweries. So
you thought you were getting out, and they pulled you right back in.
I know.
Yeah, man. It's like but I was looking at you're looking at it when you sent them to me. Like, well, obviously the one I like really like caught my eye was that that like the Kraken, but it was like a hop. Taking out that ship because my brother really loves. I'm mentioning my brother again. Sorry. He loves, but it's like pirate ships and stuff like that is like his like favorite. But I love that one where it's like just to kind of describe it, and I'll put that in the post too if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
When we post when this episode gets posted. But man, that's really awesome. Like for like to see stuff like that and like that, and that's the kind of stuff you want to promote, and that's like you had mentioned earlier about the craft beer community, how, because there are certain communities and when it comes to like different different things or different walks of life, but I feel like the craft beer community is just like super helpful, and everybody wants to like, what can I do to or let's get a beer together, or let's do that, or like what can I do to help you'll get to hear, or like brewers and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's funny, like I said, we were in Portugal a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And there was a follower of ours that he's from like somewhere in Europe, and he's like, I'm going to be in Lisbon. Like, you guys want to meet up? Like, we didn't get a chance to meet up because we were like one day apart, but like, it's just cool. Like, there's no other place that you can meet people that are just like, hey, I've never met you. We speak a different language, but let's hang out.
Well, because the the question, like, want to go have a beer or grab a drink, it's so universal. Like, dude, my life sucks too. Like,
well, that's what they call it. Like, they call the alcohol. Oh, alcohol. I said the alcohol like an old man, but alcohol like a social lubricant. Like, they'd say like you can, you just have a conversation, over a beer, like, and I always like to mention this part of it, like, and for the listeners, like, other than messaging each other for like the last couple of weeks, we've never had a conversation before.
Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, it feels like I've known you guys for a while.
I was gonna say it's just flowing, like it's just there's nothing else, there's nowhere else you can get that kind of experience.
Yeah,
like, it's very cool.
I mean, yeah, and whenever I get out to to Chicago and we can have a beer together, or if you guys are out here, like we'll go. I mean, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say we'll pay for beers at Brewery X. I'll do that.
We'll figure it out. I mean, we kind of have a bunch of different agreements with different people. So we'll definitely if not if. I mean, I'm assuming at some point we'll be out that way. So.
I would love to be out that way because I have not been to.
Where are you at specifically in California?
I am about if there was a midway point between like downtown Los Angeles and Orange County, I'm right smack in the middle of it. Like I'm in a city called Bellflower.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really I'm about 20 minutes from downtown, 20 minutes from Orange County, and there's Orange County, like the craft beer scene in Orange County is just you can throw you can be at one brewery, throw a rock, and you're gonna hit another one. So
right. And that's funny though, because I feel like of all the places we've been all around the United States, I don't think we spent much time. Well, you never have you gone to California or no?
I've never been.
It's the only place we haven't covered extensively. So yeah, it'd be awesome to do that.
For sure, man. If you guys come out here, just let me know. We'll grab a bunch of beers. I also have a cousin that works for Disneyland, so if you guys wanted to go, we could make something like that happen.
For sure.
I'm a Disney fanatic.
I don't know if you can see it. I got a pin board over here.
This is this is the whole there's no you meet people and through beer, and it's you're hey, let's hang out. Where else can you do that? There's
for
no
sure.
Everybody would say you're crazy any other place, but it's with beer, it's yeah, they like beer. I like beer.
Oh, no. I still think you guys are crazy. I am the ultimate introvert. Making these plans with people, I will tell you it is all Jeff. I'm over here sweating. I'm are we meeting people? I have...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me no more friends.
Well, I'm glad I got to get into that before Taylor cut it off.
Just made the cut.
Just made the cut.
But it's funny though, because she definitely between the two of us is the introvert. But I feel if you look at her account, she definitely more.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was if there was somebody partying, she said she didn't partake in that stuff. It's come on. Come on.
Turns as soon as the camera comes down, just
she's boom, here we go. She's I got this. She's I got this triple hazy. Right. or quad hazy coming in at 14 points on the percent.
No, seriousness, we do obviously you've probably seen some of our stuff. We do.
Yeah, I love your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we do stupid stuff. And she was the person that kind of pushed us in that direction. And
That's
at first
awesome.
I was dude, I'm not going on camera. I'm I'll take a picture. I'm but I'm not I don't want to do that stuff. And then now we're full blown it's just ridiculous. So
for sure.
I did not start that.
but honestly, how cool is it that you guys that support system that you guys have for one another, and just be able to to be able to do something like that, because not everybody. It's that's always kind of I shout out my girlfriend because she when Taps and Tailgates kind of folded and everybody was busy doing their thing, all that didn't make time for the show, and I wanted to keep it going. I told her, I said, there's going to be weekends where I'm just slammed. I'm going to be doing this because I try to knock out a few at a time because I'm also, try to do that sort of stuff. And she's just she's yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But being not sarcastic or anything like that, but super supportive, and that's not
for real.
And you don't always find that.
No. And I think she's kind of, I know she's she always says like, oh, you're the driving force behind this thing, but like honestly it's her, because like between her and like just the people that like reach out to us and like the people that like what we do, thank you, by the way. Like, I appreciate it, but like it wouldn't be like, this wouldn't have gotten as far as it's gotten if it wasn't for her like pushing and being like, we gotta do this, or let's try this, or let's like pushing me out of my comfort zone. And like, so like,
it's that yin and yang.
Yeah, like this is definitely like for anybody that's even thinking about doing something like what we do, like I would totally encourage it, because it's super fun and it's super good for your relationship. Like, and I know I'm like having this, like gushy moment.
Oh,
like,
no, dude, not at all.
Like, it's super good for your relationship to do stuff like this.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned earlier, like with me and my girlfriend, like I always joke around, I call her Maruka, but I always tell like that, we'll plan trips, or we'd like to plan trips around breweries, like because it's something we really enjoy to do together. Like we can do that. She's also into baseball and stuff like that. She's a Dodger fan, whatever.
No, they're super.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, so like having that's like the one thing. Sorry, sweetheart. I know you're probably gonna listen to this, but I had to learn to accept. Couldn't change that. You
gotta make those sacrifices sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
I gotta watch a Cardinals game every once in a while. Yeah.
No, but like that's really cool though. I mean, like you guys, like because every time I see you guys post, it's it's not just one person, it's both you guys. It's you guys doing it together, and that's really like for you guys, Instagram like that. That's really cool, and I thoroughly enjoy your content. I wouldn't have reached out,
I appreciate that.
if I didn't. And that's like you were mentioning how like people, if you're on the fence about trying something, like take it as there's all these homebrewers, like you were talking about homebrewing, like all these homebrewers that like, fuck, I don't know if I can do that, like I don't know if I can, but then they take that chance and then end up making this amazing beer. And then some brewery goes to a brew festival and tries that, and they're like, dude, do you want to come to work for us or something like that? Right? So I mean, like, and that's why I always try to say, like, not everybody's. Well, people may be trying to go to the same destination, but not everybody's journey is the same, and just be able to just enjoy that. Like, and I'm sorry, we're getting gushy, and I'm not trying.
It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I feel like just one more thing to add to this, and then obviously we can go somewhere else, because I know you have something sarcastic that you're just waiting to say.
Oh, I know. Talking about AA or something probably again.
But I do, like, I genuinely, like, once you take that step, like, past your comfort zone, like, everything else is, like, especially with this, like, making content and stuff like that, like, it's so much easier to do. Like, there's just one little hurdle, and, like, I mean, you can spend years trying to get over it, but, like, once you get past it, like, we look back all the time, and we're like, remember when we were, like, didn't want to do this, or we were worried about this, and, like, now it's just like, fuck it, what kind of weird idea you got?
Yeah. We'll just throw something on the wall to see what sticks. And that's true, though, because, I mean, like, there's times where, like, people post reels, and it's like, it'll get, like, you think it's the best reel ever, and then it's like, it gets, like, 300 views. But then you post, like, this something stupid, and it's, like, 6,000 views, or, 10,000 views.
We have one reel, like, and I was like, content is hard to make in general. Like,
for sure.
Like, I mean, it's a lot of work, and like sometimes after you do it, like you said, it's like, okay, nobody paid attention to this, but like to your point, like with that one reel, or you were just saying, like, remember when we were in Louisiana, and it was like you took a quote or something, it got 10,000 views. I'm like, what the fuck do people care about?
I was drunk, and I thought this would be funny.
Like, I don't get it. Like, but okay, fine. Like,
yeah, that's so cool though.
But yeah,
I mean, like all that sort of stuff. Like, just like, because you never know what's gonna hit. Like, you can like I said, plan out all the best. Do you think it's like, oh man, this is gonna look so professional, it's gonna look so good, and then nobody pays attention to it.
Right?
Yeah. Like that's why I always say thank goodness for listeners. I always say like, you know, I don't care, like because honestly most of the feedback I get is really really good feedback, but there are those like people that are like, oh, you forgot this because I'm talking about sports. Like, oh, you forgot the year that this happened. I'm just like, dude, like, okay, so if I put you on the spot and I tell you,
like, come over here and spit sauce. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but you know, and it's you know, like most of the time when it comes to just the craft beer community, it's just you know not to harp on that too much, but it's just you know it's not like an inclusive like a club like everybody wants to help everybody and everybody wants to you know, and I think in general it's just like craft breweries just want to put out a good product, not like you know I feel like some of the bigger breweries where they just like oh that batch didn't come out as good as I thought, release it anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's on you, not us. Figure it out.
Yeah. But man, it's
and everybody's kind of like scraping and trying to like get it together and do it the easiest way with the means that they have. So I think you do the best work when your kind of back is against the wall, and I feel like that sort of is the nature of this beast. Like it's a back against the wall all the time, and let's just get it done type of and
for sure, like you were saying, like you know, getting out of your comfort zone. Like I remember, and this is something I've never said this on this show, though on the tap room now before. But
Romeoandbrewliet.
Yeah. But and I hope this doesn't like sound super sentimental or anything like that. But like my first episode doing like recording when it was still Taps and Tailgates by myself, I was a fucking wreck. I was just like, okay, I'm used to my brother being here, my buddy being here, my cousin being here. I'm like, but now I feel like now it's just it's another thing. And this is where I always wanted things to go. Like I wanted to be able to talk to people with people like you guys and, and brewers, owners, and just people that just love beer in general, that want to talk beer, that want to be able to have a good time and have a conversation. Like honestly, like if it wasn't for like me looking at a monitor, it'd be like we were just sitting across the room each other at a table or at a tabletop in a brewery.
Brewliet with her shoes off and her bike kicked onto the ground.
Yeah. Probably forgot to do the bike chain and everything like that.
Sure. Oh, you want to tell your bike story?
Oh, I'd love to hear it. Let's do it.
Talk about what happened to your last bike.
I rode to work on a bicycle like an eco-friendly person. I wasn't like spending gas. Okay. I was very efficient.
Hey, this is all everybody can. If you like driving cars, you can do that too.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
My boyfriend had our one vehicle, so I had to drive to work. Or I had to ride my bicycle to work. I couldn't drive. I was thrown for a loop. And I was getting my hair done after work, and the salon I go to is right next to the metro station, and I forgot my lock. And I asked Jeff, I told him when I was leaving work, I was like, you need to come and give me the lock. Like, drive to the salon. It's only 10 minutes away. Come give me the lock, the bike. I'm worried it's going to be stolen. And of course...
That's not asking, by the way. But go ahead.
And of course, like true to form, his brother, who always calls at the most opportune moment, calls Jeff before he came to deliver my lock. And instead of delivering the lock to the salon, he was on the phone with his brother for an hour, and my bike was stolen. My beautiful pandemic bike.
But so you went from work to the salon? Is what I heard there?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so I mean, you could have went straight home. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, like I know my hair is
I'm just kidding.
Like, I look like a hot mess. I could not be late for this appointment. Daddy, thank you for my hair. You are a godsend. I could not be late for practice.
I'm just joshing. I had to throw that in there.
That's what I deal. This is how I got my determination. Yeah. Living with you every day. Yeah.
Just living the dream. That's I was the. You gotta watch it
over here.
Yeah. There was this has obviously been super fun. I did want to ask you guys too, because like one segment I always bring up is locals only. So Chicago, I know this is a heated debate, and I prefer thin crust. I know it's like you guys call it tavern style. Okay. Like, what's where do you guys fall in the spectrum between deep dish and tavern style or bar pie?
I want to clear up a misconception about Chicago pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
So, it's funny that you're bringing this up because actually we were at a brewery 3 days ago or something, right? Remember there? Okay, so it was like 2 or 3 days ago. There was a guy that was from Louisiana that we met there. Okay, we were just kind of shooting shit, whatever. And he's like, I don't understand how you guys can eat deep dish pizza all the time. Okay, but that's the thing. Like, we don't discriminate against pizza. Like, we like thin crust, we like deep dish, but you cannot eat deep dish pizza. Like,
oh no.
But I think a lot of people from out of state, because I've worked with some people out of state and different things like that, think that you can always eat deep dish pizza. Deep dish pizza is my favorite, but it's a luxury and it's something. It's almost like Indian food. Like, you can only eat it like once every couple of months because it destroys you. So I would be definitely a deep dish pizza guy, but I mean I love my thin crust. Like, I don't discriminate against pizza would be my thing, but I mean, like, on the weekends we're usually getting thin crust pizza.
Yeah. Not trying to start anything, but I think I saw an eye roll before you started talking there, Jeff.
She's from St. Louis. She doesn't know anything about pizza. Next question. Just because he lived here for like a couple of years doesn't give you any kind of jurisdiction on pizza.
She was like, excuse me.
Say you like both without picking a side.
No, I like deep dish better, but tavern. I wouldn't eat it all the time.
Tavern, I would eat that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you give me, I love thin crust. Just give me a lot of cheese. I just want it piled on with cheese, and like it should be like just oozing down.
Also, truth be told, like, New York has better thin crust than we do.
I've never been to New York, so I can't.
I've never had like Chicago like bar pie. I know they call it like bar pie, tavern style, stuff like that. But I love thin crust, and like I'll make. My uncle has a smoker and it has like a pizza attachment, pizza oven attachment. So I cook on that, but I always make it like paper thin.
Yeah.
And I love that, but I also like deep dish. Like, I will eat that, but my preference would be thin. But I know that's like a big thing, like with Chicagoans.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody up here, like, they rave about deep dish, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's fun.
Yeah.
But like, that's where it's at.
How many followers are going to eat?
That's right. Well, it's all right. We'll put a disclaimer in front.
You can eat maybe 1 to 2 slices of a deep dish, but you can eat a whole pie that's thin crust.
Yeah, we'll put a disclaimer out front. It'll say she prefers this, or she's from St. Louis.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you don't really know what pizza is. Like, where you're from. Like, you guys have some okay pizza.
I mean, you got a great barbecue, but I mean,
Yeah, your barbecue is on point, but no, there's some pizza that we've got, because like I said, we've gone back to St. Louis. They have some good pizza there too. But I would be in the deep dish camp if I had to say.
Thin crust, maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like, because I feel like there's a lot of things that are like Chicago. Like, what do they call? Is it not Chicago beef? What's the
Italian beef?
Yeah, the Italian beef. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That, like, every time I see it, like, I mean, I'm gonna sound like a homer, but it's like not a homer, but like the diner, like a nerd, because of diners, drive-ins, and dives. When you see like the Italian beefs, like that they, Guy Fieri, whatever his name is. Yeah. Yes. I'm like, oh, with like the peppers and everything.
Oh, Italian beef is like, even like, I know this is like, so I got a couple places. I wrote a bunch down for you, but definitely, like, everybody's getting Portillo's now, and like, thank God, because Portillo's is legit like Italian beef. Like, I know it's it is a chain now, but like, if I'm like just craving a beef, like a Portillo's beef is where it's at.
Okay.
But Mr. Beef is good.
Yeah.
Al's beef is good. I mean, you can't go wrong with Italian beef, but like,
it just looks so good.
One anywhere else, like,
yeah.
It's like,
the eye rolls just keep coming though. I don't know what happened.
Well, that's because she tried to make me Italian beef one time.
Oh, here we go. I want to hear this story.
I
Let's
was
go.
like, this is not Italian beef.
Yeah, she was probably trying her best out there.
It was fucking delicious.
It was good, but it wasn't Italian beef.
It was my mom's recipe.
Oh, but she's from St. Louis, though.
Yep.
And it's the best. It's the best recipe you're gonna get.
From St. Louis.
No, that was a broad statement.
If you can find Italian, like I challenge the listeners right now. Like,
Yeah.
Find Italian beef somewhere. Like you just can't. Like I've looked for it. Like you can't. Like I send my sister Italian beef for Christmas because my sister who lives in Tampa can't get Italian beef like anywhere.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, that sounds like a good brother that for doing something like that. So
That's right. You hear that, Lisa?
Well, but honestly, like, dude, because I feel like there's certain things like in certain areas, like out here, I've never heard of a shop selling Italian beef. Like, there's some places where you can get like pretty decent Philly cheesesteaks, but there's places out here like Philippe's or where they do like a roast beef and they dunk it in the au jus, and it's like like cotton needs a new pair of shorts kind of thing. Yeah, but so good. Like, but you just like I've never seen an Italian beef place. But even like, didn't you guys like known for like certain hot dogs too?
Gene and Jude's is our hot dog jam.
Okay,
that's in River Grove, like just outside of Chicago. But yeah, we've definitely plugged to those guys. And then they put the fries all like we always forget this. I feel like, right?
I mean, my policy is not to agree with Jeff ever, but I will say Gene and Jude's hands down. Like, I mean, I would get it every day if my heart could sustain it.
Even though their fries are amazing, they put so much fries on top of the actual hot dog that like, and then if you order like a side of fries is just like it's like stupid how much fries they give you. So like between the two of us, like we'll just have like a stack of fries on top. It's like, why do we make this mistake every time that we go to this place?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, because you want to like all those little spots and stuff like that. Like you can find specific types of foods specifically to your area. And because every time I see an Italian beef, like I'm just like, man, like I need that I need that meat in or around my mouth somewhere.
That's weird. Isn't that your mantra too?
Oh, hey, snap. That was the little Joaquin Phoenix Joker kind of laugh there.
That's yeah.
Uh-oh. She's like, when this is over, you are so fucked.
Once that the account just says Romeo.
Yeah. Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?
Looking for a co-host.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking like looking for
somebody that can.
Whoa.
But no, just to kind of go like a little more on the food, like we've got like people just from everywhere that live in Chicago. So like we have any type of food that you could possibly want from any country. Like we have a good version of it. Like that's I think
awesome.
That's why people live here. Honestly, like I know so many people that are like, well, if it wasn't for like the 4 months of summer and like the food, I would never be here. And some people are just I don't like if there wasn't the food. I'd be gone.
Oh yeah, I'm a fat ass at heart.
Hey, we all are. And so, are you originally from Chicago, Jeff, or did you move?
I'm from Logan Square. Like I'm like, that's where all the Polish people are from.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like
my grandparents are from Poland, so that's we
awesome.
all decided like, okay, it's really cold here in Poland. Let's go to this other place that's really cold. And let's hang out. And we'll start a community here.
That's awesome. The lost my train of thought there for a second, so I'm just gonna wing it. Brats. Is it just a Chicago thing, or is like, do you guys? Oh, I saw a shaking of head of no from Brewliet over there.
What do you got?
But are you guys brat people or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We trust Wisconsin with brats. I feel like more than like we eat brats all the time, but like they have brat fest like near Milwaukee. Like that's our jam that we like to do, and that's like a couple hours from us. So
okay,
worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I told one time. I'm going to tell a random story here. We were joking around. We were yelling at my mom, not yelling at her, yelling at her, but like they're making like hot dogs. Was like 2 dogs, no peppers, and then she flipped us off. So gotta love moms, right? Am I right?
Right.
Oh, they are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for ones that don't have like the best Italian beef recipes. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was just a joke.
He does everything else right, though. Shout out to Kay.
Shout out to Kay. And I didn't mean that. But I didn't mean what I said. I just like to Josh. I kind of whoop ass. Stone Cold walked in.
But no, we our food scene is top notch here, I would say.
Yeah, and because we talked about like the locals. The only thing to do is there like a specific well, are there like because I know like was it what do they call it, the bean?
I knew this was gonna come up.
Yeah, no, but I mean like because I don't want to talk because I know that's where everybody goes. But I mean, are there other spots that people don't like? Most tourists maybe the ones that research it a little bit more. Are there other spots that maybe that they could go to that if listeners could go to if they're in the Chicago area that won't just be crazy?
I'm trying. Well, like all the places that like the Bean or we have Navy Pier, like those places, like the Bean is fine because you're like you just walk past it, like you don't have to pay to get into it. But like,
yeah,
there's some stuff where they're just charging you a bunch of money just because it's popular.
Okay.
Well, if I was a tourist here, what I would do is I would just go into all the little neighborhoods like throughout like Chicago, like just do your research, and like we've got a whole list of like all kinds of stuff here.
Okay.
That we wrote out. So, like honestly, if there's people that like, if you want recos, like there's so many. Like food is like that's what you should do when you come here. Like this should be your vacation to beach, play some volleyball, and just eat some food. Like
yeah,
that's
no. Go see a comedy show.
You can do that too.
Gotta love comedy. Yeah, that's good stuff.
They are so good. Like the comedy shows here, like you cannot go wrong. Like you have the Laugh Factory and stuff, which is like
Second City.
Yeah, Second City.
Do Second City.
Second City was where Rick Moranis got one of his start. Yeah, like so good.
SNL for the last like 25 years.
Yeah.
If you could just go to a small like improv show, like in just set in one of the neighborhoods, or go to like a very small, like I'm not talking a play that you go see at a theater. Like a little hometown play that a group of actors is putting on, like in a square room, like feels a little uncomfortable, but it's one of the best things you can do. Like it is so much fun and so interactive, and I think you won't really get a great experience like that anywhere else.
And you could even do
awesome.
like Second City has like I don't know, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the side stage where it's like the more up and coming acts at Second City. Like it's like $15. Like if you do that, like you're definitely getting your money's worth. Like those are the kind of things that like people should be doing.
Okay, seeing that's the stuff I want to like love to hear about, because if I'm gonna go, like I'm gonna hit you up and I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna be out there this day. Let's grab some beers. Let's do that.
Like, do this and this, even though you're gonna do this and this.
No, and that's the thing. Like, if we can, that's what this is. Like this whole thing is where I wanted to make it when I do these episodes. When it's not because it's not just about the brewers or the owners. It's about or hearing their story. It's about hearing like our story. Like it's like being able to sit down and have a few beers and have a good freaking time. Also, because I'm such a huge burger head, like I always got to ask where the best burger in Chicago is.
Okay, you want me to do this, or are you gonna do this?
I would say it's not in Chicago. I like Empire in Naperville.
Okay.
I mean, they
That's
have
fair.
I mean, the burger is absolutely excellent. It's cooked to perfection. Obviously medium rare.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And the
if you don't have medium rare, don't come here.
The patio
No, but there's definitely there's city places. Like if you go to Au Cheval, I think that's probably the most popular Chicago place. But again, you're gonna spend a lot. But that's a good burger. But like if you just want the food, like there's Small Cheval, which is the same company. Like they just have like this on the side, like just go.
And they
could.
And they called it small.
Like, deal with all the crowds and all the bullshit. Like, so you can do
That's
that.
awesome.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't like a burger's a weird thing because like I feel like I cook a pretty good burger, so we don't go out for burgers a ton.
Okay.
Like. Yeah. Like burgers and steak, like we like. I kill it on the steak, so like, wouldn't you agree?
You kill it, boo boo.
I kill the steak for sure. So like
that's
those
awesome.
types of things, we don't do a ton, but like if you're coming here, I would say Au Cheval. There's a place called Little Bad Wolf, which is just a cool name.
Okay.
You can do that. That's in Andersonville. And then Taylor mentioned suburban stuff. There's a place called Crusade Burger Bar.
Like Indiana Jones.
Shout out to Heavy Metal.
There we go.
And
Black Dahlia Murder. Oh, little Ninja Turtles there. Love it.
I'm a child of the '90s, so I got
a comic book. I'm gonna be giving to a buddy of mine for his wedding, and I'll show it to you after when we're all done.
No, dude, I've got like I'm a '90s nerd like at my core. Yeah, so you know like Ninja Turtles.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Any games like Ninja Gaiden and shit like that.
Oh fuck yeah, all day.
So that was my jam. I don't even know where I went with this. Oh, Crusade. So
yeah,
Crusade is it's in where is Crusade? Crest Hill, which is like in the suburbs, but it's a heavy metal themed. And I think they have arcade. No, they don't have arcade there, but it's heavy metal themed, and they got burgers named after like all the metal musicians and things like that.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, like there's a lot of places like heavy metal's kind of trendy around here. I feel like at times, like they have Sovereign, they have different places like that. So at least I mean I feel like it's popular because I go to those places.
There you go.
But they definitely usually those kind of places, if it's metal themed, they usually have pretty good. They have good burgers and good food. Kuma's Corner is another good one too.
Yes.
That's I think that's probably like Chicago wise instead of like with the exception of Au Cheval, like Kuma's is pretty popular as well.
Okay. That sounds. They all sound really good, and I love you said it was Au Cheval and then small Cheval.
Yeah, just go to the window, dude. Find a secret. So many secrets.
Well,
like just
honestly, sometimes the best places to go to are those little the little window places or little. And you know, if it's cash only, it's good.
For sure.
That stresses me out. I can't.
Does it?
Oh my god.
She's like, in all seriousness, like there's a like an Instagram account. I think it's called like Secret Chicago or Secret.Chicago or something like that. If you go on there, like if you are ever, and this goes for anybody, like if you're ever planning on coming here, like just follow that site for like a couple of months, and like you'll pick up there's so many little secret places in Chicago, and so many little like even just different ways to get from one place to another that like the average Joe or Jane doesn't even know about.
Yeah, and that's freaking cool for me. Just like because I don't care as long as I have good food. Like I said, get an Italian beef in or around my mouth, we're fine.
You're gonna eat, that's for sure. If you come here,
oh yeah,
that's why that would. If I was from out of town, that would be what I would do if I came here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I want to do that. And I'm not even living there. I just want to go eat and
Right.
But you talked about steak because I'm not the biggest steak person, but I do love the occasional steak. My hamburgers are my steak. But I'm gonna sound like a Californian and talk about In-N-Out. That's just my go-to.
Well, In-N-Out is legit. I've had it.
But I do make a good smash burger. Do you guys like smash burgers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you guys come out here anytime, I will fire up the flat top and make you some good smashies.
I like it. We love some good Asian food and some good Mexican food. So if you got places there too.
Oh, a ton. Yeah, there's a ton out here, and especially down in San Diego too. Like there's a I harp on them all the time. It's Old Town Mexican Cafe. That place to me is just like the old ladies are making their tortillas in the window. And it's like they're just,
that's when you know it's good.
Yeah,
it's got to be the people from the place that's making the food.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like what more can you do with that? I'm gonna
like if I'm in the back making Thai food, you should leave. Like they're
Sorry, I had to pull my seat back because I was going to show you this guy.
Oh, is that like the Violent Ninja Turtles comic?
Yeah, it's one of the old ones. Yeah, I'm giving it to my buddy of mine. His brother's a huge Ninja Turtles fan, and he's getting married soon. So I wanted to give him something. So this is, I mean, I think I got it for like $1 way back when, but I think it's worth a few hundred now. So
I was gonna say that might be worth. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's another thing though. Stuff that I always thought was, I'm like, why do I have this? Like, it's just laid around my parents' attic, and then now I see it, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me with that? Like, I had like 4.
Oh, dude, and like you were talking about earlier, like you need that like kind of that local kind of place where everybody can kind of come together. It's like, to me, that's Cheers. Like I usually have I have Norm. I usually have Norm from Cheers sitting on my desk, but I gave it when I went to Noble Aleworks, so about a few weeks ago. I gave, they were like, oh, that's so cool. Because I just had it in the car. And one of the brewers was like, man, that'd be cool to have, like, to put on the thing. I was like, dude, just keep it. Like, you guys, hosted me, and, we had a freaking great time, crushed a bunch of beers. So.
Is that Noble place? Is that a pretty solid place in
oh, man, it's really good. They have food, like, they have food trucks all the time. I honestly, I was a pretty buzzed at a certain point. So, I mean, I think that's why I can't think I said in the entire thing. I was like, and we're back. Like, I don't know how many times I said it. Yeah. And I didn't even need to say that. I could have just went into it. But honestly, yeah, Josh, Jimmy, Paul, all super nice people. Like, super nice people. Like, and you wanted to, like, the kind of people where you just, like, I want to drink with those guys. Like, honestly, like you guys. Like, if I'm in Chicago, like, I want to drink with you guys.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if you listened to that episode, but I definitely did. And you guys were like,
we went off the wall.
Fucking podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, we went off the wall.
We're having a good time, like, for sure.
Oh yeah, like if we took like I don't know how many pee breaks. I had to go outside and have a cigarette in between. It was just like, man. And plus, I had recorded earlier that day with Stereo Brewing. Those guys are really cool too. Like, I don't know if you listened to that episode, but it was the one with Dylan and Rick, who's the owner. But Dylan's like, he started brewing when he was 23 years old. And it's like, that was like his, like, this is what I want to do with my life. And now he's like the head brewer at, like it's such a huge brewery in Orange County, or in Placentia. And it's like, to me, like, that's what, like, that's like, for me, like, that's like what the essence of this podcast is. It's like, people that are like doing stuff that they love to do within the craft beer community.
No, I agree. And props to him for knowing what the hell he wanted to do when he was 23. Because I was a completely like useless member of society.
Oh, same. Yeah.
It was no direction. I mean, I always knew I wanted to do art, but I was like, just whatever.
Oh yeah, same. I was doing insurance when I was 19. I'm still doing it now. Like I'm still doing. but I found this, like, like it's a Monday night, like. Like Garfield always says, fuck Mondays. Oh, I know he doesn't say fuck Mondays, but he hates Mondays. Yeah. So, I mean, like, when you can kind of have, like, this, sort of outlet, just, like, have a good time. Knock back a few beers and just...
For sure.
Enjoy our conversation.
Late, though, dude, for real.
I know. And then I feel bad because because you guys are 2 hours ahead, so it's almost like... okay.
It's like 8:20. Like,
okay.
My bedtime used to be 8:30, 9 o'clock before we started dating, and now it's 11. I am struggling.
I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, you still look good.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna give you the Bill Clinton thumbs up right there. People can't see it, but it's like we just put the thumb above the fingers.
That's very accurate.
Yeah, just say, I did not sleep. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I'm
oh, hey, Dad, if you guys want to, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, I'll edit it out after. I'm going to go grab another beer. But I feel like within the craft beer community, it is a lot easier. Like, people, like, you reach out to someone, they respond. Like a lot of times you get that because they want, and especially for something like this, like, I feel like that's why I feel like breweries like this sort of stuff. Yeah. Because it's like free marketing for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and that's your forte, so you know all about it.
But I'll be honest, it still shocked me when because like I said, we started doing this and we were kind of just like we're just fucking around. Like we didn't want people to think we're drunks, basically. So we just had like this bank account, and then it sort of like escaped the confines, and then we're like, fuck it, let it run out and like do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
Like, and then it turned into obviously what it is now, but like it definitely, like when we first started reaching out to breweries, I'm like, dude, nobody's ever gonna fucking respond to us. And like the first time we reached out to somebody, like they're like, hey, come in here, have some beers. And I was like, okay, wait, maybe this is like different than we expected.
Oh yeah. Dude, and that was like, it was like with Noble too, like after I did episode 1 with Unsung, like they added me right away, and I was like, well, they added me. I was like, okay, that's kind of, whatever. Like, that's cool that they did that. And then, like, I reached out a couple weeks later, and they're like, man, we were hoping you were going to reach out to us.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I appreciate that but I think they were listeners from before. And I think it's taken a little time now, I feel like, but now not everybody's associating this show with Taps and Tailgates.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that part's nice because everybody's just like, oh, how's Jizzy doing? I'm just like, man, he's busy, he's got his stuff going on.
We got like 5 episodes.
Yeah. And it's like, almost, 9 episodes, 10 episodes. Because, you guys will be episode 10. So episode 11, actually. So, I mean, to me, like, this is just the best. Like, be able to, because it makes me hate Mondays not as much.
Right. But it's like, it's like normal stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like job interviews and different things like that, like you're nervous about. But this, I was just like, dude, we're just gonna have a fucking good, like you said, this is a Monday. We're gonna get fucking get bent and fucking
be sloshed, try and knocking one at work tomorrow. It'll be fine. Exactly. Oh, and you had walked away for
Taylor,
for a second there, Taylor. But oh no, hold on. Oh, the knife, because there's a knife part of it, and it fell out.
Just watch.
Yeah,
that's legit too.
Yeah, it's a big beefy bastard. One day I got really drunk and I put it in the fire. But yeah, so
how do you feel about the Rings of Power TV show? This will tell me a lot about you.
I don't want to say anything bad about it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
I can jive with the it's okay. I get so heated when I don't know, like it's just based off like this. Some I can't pronounce it.
It's serviceable.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's Tolkien's works and stuff like that. I get what you mean, yeah.
I just love that there's still reasonably good content, unlike Star Wars, where I feel like just throw shit.
Oh, and I'm a Star Wars nerd, but I get it. Yeah, there's certain stuff out there that I'm like,
I used to love Star Wars, and then like the third trilogy came out. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Sorry, I have a Star Wars tattoo on my forearm. I have Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi.
I love like the first 6. I mean, the.
But what is it? Rogue One is pretty good.
I mean, Rogue
One's pretty good. Yeah.
It's a like when they do the one-off movies or the one-off TV shows. They
for sure.
Like, you gotta do a trilogy again. They like.
Yeah.
Like you gotta plan this better.
So I got a funny thing to say. So I didn't know anything about any of this stuff until Taylor. I had to watch. I never watched a single Harry Potter until like a year ago, 2 years ago.
I have a time turner in my fucking closet.
Oh my god! I went to when I went to England. I went to the studio.
Oh, that's pretty freaking cool.
Freaking middle of nowhere by myself.
Yeah, I have all the books over here on my thing.
It was awesome. It was so cool.
I do like it. I'll say that, but like,
yeah.
I just this was stuff I'd never like. You said you're 36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't look it right.
Because I'll be 39 in June. I just never like this stuff. Never like. I don't know. It wasn't a thing like when we were.
Honestly, it's just kind of like what people are, during that time frame are into, like. Yeah. Some people grew up watching, the Gummy Bears on freaking Disney Channel way back in the day, and then some people grow up not watching that, or watching like the X-Men or Spider-Man, stuff like that.
X-Men Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, banger. Yeah.
They played the same fucking episode.
Don't sue me, Disney.
One of the best intro songs, by the way.
Oh, it's a banger, yeah. Absolute banger. Yeah.
Mine was Sailor Moon. I cannot even
okay.
Sailor Moon.
I was more of a Johnny Bravo kind of guy. I'm just kidding.
I would have banged Rogue back in the day.
Yeah. Hey-o. Snap.
Yeah. I would have taken the chance. Like, give me the gloves, Gambit.
Yeah. Gotta give a head of Snappy on that one. I mean, who didn't?
I was a big Marvel guy, but now I'm not a Marvel. Like, I've kind of gone away from Marvel. Like now.
Yeah, it pisses people off when I talk about Marvel because I call them popcorn movies. Sometimes there are certain characters I love, absolutely love.
Yeah.
But like even like now, what is it? Because you're wearing the Black Dahlia Murder, but it has Ninja Turtles on it. I'm excited about that new movie that almost reminds me of like Into the Spider-Verse, the way like the cell artwork looks good.
But
nothing will ever beat my dog Casey Jones and Raphael. Oh, you know what? I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you a real question though.
With the trailer that has nothing to do with the movie at all, but the movie's fucking solid.
Oh, it's one of the best. But I do have to ask you a real question about the Ninja Turtles. And I'm pretty sure if you've listened to the... I don't know, actually, I don't know. Since it's become the tap room, I don't know if I've talked about the Ninja Turtles. But who do you think is the best Ninja Turtle?
Like, after we talked, I've done... Well, I might have done a little bit of the previous one, but
okay.
I've definitely done most of the tap room.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? There's a right answer.
My favorite Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
For me, is definitely Michelangelo.
Okay, that's okay. That's an okay answer. As long as you didn't say the Boy Scout Leonardo. I call him a little bitch.
Which one has the blue mask?
Oh, good Lord. Taylor.
But, okay, out of the two of us, this is definitely the fucking Leonardo of the bunch.
Yeah.
This relationship actually is Leonardo and Michelangelo.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like, when people, like, don't get me wrong, like, I always joke with my buddy Nav, who used to be on when it was Tops and Tailgates. He would always say, oh, dude, Leo's the leader, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but he's kind of a pussy.
Dude, and he's always like a fucking wet rag.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want it. He's like, I don't know, Raph. I don't think we have the plan. Raph's like, let's fucking go. And Michelangelo's like, as long as there's pizza, who gives a shit?
Right?
Yeah.
So which turtle are you, Leonardo?
I didn't mean to shit on Leonardo. I'm sorry, Taylor.
No,
for sure. You can't. I feel like the basement tapes of this podcast are going to be the better part.
The best part is like I'm going to leave all this in, so we're fine. I'm just going to edit out the certain part when we walked away. This is going to be a long one, and that's the thing. I always like, at least for me when I listen to podcasts, I always like the longer ones because it was like it would get me through the week. Especially when way back when I hated my job, love my other job now. I actually really do love what I do. And I get to do this. So it's like, I never feel like I'm like over exerting myself on certain things. I just kind of make more room on my plate.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
that's kind of like us with our stuff. Like, we're always like, if it's not fun anymore, like, we're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So like, we always kind of check in and we're like, hey, you still cool with this? Like,
no, that's the way it should be.
And like, I don't mean to keep beating this drum, but like making content, fucking lot of work.
Dude, it's a ton, man. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, like I usually do it like certain days during the week. Like I'll repost stuff during the week, and then I will do like a specific beer, like on a day, like, then I'll post stuff on Thursdays. Cause I'm like, man, like I'm busy and I got all this stuff to do. I did want to show you guys this can. It's a one from Brewery X. That's one of my brothers.
I was to say, your brother's design.
I'll show you that can after, but this is a different one. This is like, if speaking of 90s, it's like the tree that the giving tree kind of thing. Yeah, and this one is called Citra Loves Nelson, and it has that little thing. So I love this can. This is coming in at 7%. This one is Citra and Nelson hops. Obviously, that's why it's called Citra Loves Nelson. But yeah, they got a bunch of cool stuff.
Shout out to these guys.
Yeah, do it for sure.
So they're called. It's funny. We like a brewery called More Brewing, and then we like this brewery called Moore's Brewing.
Yeah.
So we don't really like to go very far outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, like these guys, it's an all black-owned brewery.
That's awesome.
One of my buddies that works in the United Center was like, "Dude, I got a bunch of this beer. You want to try it?" Because he knows like we're into beer, and I was like, "Sure, why not?" So like we drank it the other day, and I'm like, "Dude, this stuff is fucking like this IPA is legit. Like this is a fucking solid IPA." So shout out to Morris Brewing, and I don't even know if they have an actual brick and mortar place. But they might be Gypsy Brewing. I don't know for sure. But yeah, they're doing it right.
That's awesome, man. Cheers! I'm gonna crack this sucker open here. Oh, I don't know if that one's sounding any good.
This is a talent you don't possess.
Woo!
Possess many talents. That's weird.
That sucks for you.
It's alright. You probably. Sure. I was gonna say it's alright. You probably got it where it counts, pal. Sorry, I didn't mean it to take it that way.
The brains is over here.
There you go.
This one.
It's honestly been like Taylor, Jeff. This has been super fun, and I'm super really just excited that you guys were willing to to come on and honestly just talk to someone you've never met before, other than messaging. And I feel like it was a blast for me. I hope you guys. Do you guys have anything else you want to mention or plug or anything?
Just I don't want to plug anything. I just want to say thank you to everybody that follows us. Thank you for caring. Thank you for giving us the time of the day, because there's definitely times like where we're like, are people going to care about this? Like, are people going to like this? So like you guys that are just constantly in our DMs. Thank you. You guys are the ones that kind of keep us going. So as long as you guys keep doing it, we'll keep doing it. So cheers to you guys.
Am I a part of that? Because I slid right into those DMs. Is that what happened?
You definitely are. Tay, you wanna say anything to anybody?
Yes, please keep giving me compliments on my video editing skills. I really appreciate that. I am really good. Just kidding. No. Always keep the compliments coming.
Awesome.
But for real, she's never edited video before this project, so like high five.
Same.
Her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like a baptism by fire. You kind of just have to.
You guys are both killing it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
I don't want to touch any of this. I'm just like, no, here you go. Here's some good like make magic out of that.
Dude, yeah. It was my brother used to do all that stuff, and then when he left when it was Taps and Tailgates, then it's like I had to try to do it myself. I was like, fuck, this is hard.
Right.
But then as you kind of like pick it up, it's like anything though. Like once you kind of learn that skill, like it does become easier. It's still not easy because we all have days where like, you know what, fuck man, I'm tired. I don't know if I want to do this today. But if you kind of like you said earlier, Jeff, like when you push through that barrier, like, oh, that comfort zone, like you're like, yeah. Fuck it, we'll get it done. But just like I said, it's been so fun with hanging out with you guys. And for all you listeners, we're going to have a really good time after the thing's over. But no.
And it's a month.
Yeah. But thank you guys for listening. And honestly, thank you. Like I said, thank you guys for being on the show. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for an article from the Bro Code from Barnabas Stinson. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, we had a lot of fun. Some of the audio kind of, was a little crackly sometimes, but hey, I mean, that's what happens when, sometimes when you're doing it remotely, but it was an absolute blast. Like I said, don't forget to follow at Romeoandbrewliet on Instagram. They are just amazing people. Obviously you would have heard that, just by listening to them in the episode. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget to, like I said, all the other stuff, like I mentioned. Got a lot of great episodes coming up. Going to be next week's episode will be Kelly from the brand manager from Gamecraft Brewing in Laguna Hills. He'll be on that episode. So we had a good time. And then I also will be recording with, it'll be another Instagram spotlight I'm recording as well with Kazoto Photo. Super cool dude, and he's from Philly. You know, we're going to be talking some NL East baseball. Also, I have another one coming up as well, actually a couple, and then I have also the one I just recorded yesterday. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we got to end it like we always do. Let's see here. I'm gonna just scroll through and see if we can find something good. Article, let's see. All right, found one. Article 44. A bro never applies sunscreen to another bro. But there's an exception. The exception is if the bros are within 7 degrees latitude of the equator. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care, Tab Fam.